What is going on, guys? Tuesday, December 13th. Christmas is almost here. But before we get to it, we got to get to Comic News Weekly. That's right, live every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Watch it on replay. Listen to it on replay wherever your audio podcasts are found. We do have some great topics we're going to discuss with you over the next hour or so. We're going to have a little discussion about AI art. We're also going to talk about some Spider-Gwen fan casting, and we're going to talk about that poor old Wonder Woman 3 movie is no longer moving forward. Someone did answer some prayers there. But before we get into those, we're going to bring the panelists in here. We have all of us here tonight. We got from Beyond Wednesdays himself, Mr. Brian McClay.
Ooh, it is winter. It is full-on hoodie season here in Arizona, and I will probably not.
Was it a chilly 78 degrees?
Oh, bro, it felt like it was gonna snow earlier last night, because it was we were getting that storm front from California, and it was cold. It's perfect, dude. I'll be living in this hoodie for the next month. It's amazing.
Heck
Nothing
yeah.
like hoodie season.
I have a whole bunch of use or lose leave that I'm getting ready to take, so I plan to be lazy, eat a lot of chips and dip, drink some Coca-Cola, maybe play some PlayStation. I don't know. Don't know if there's enough time. But yeah. Also, from that Rhinoverse Facebook, YouTube channel, Instagram, we have Mr. Ryan Hayslip.
What's shaking with the bacon? What's the hizzle and the fizzle? What's the haps and the craps? Yep, it's freaking hot up in here in the Tejas area. But in a couple of days, I'll be chilling like this dude up here.
Yeah. My brother just recently moved from San Antonio to the El Paso area, and I didn't realize how cool it gets in El Paso.
It gets real cool up there. During that winter freeze and all that jazz, a year or so ago, it was like super cold up there.
Yeah. He was talking about how cold it was. They just closed down their house. Him and his wife expecting their first child in March. So congratulations to my brother.
Nice.
And also, Mr. Button Pusher, I think his beard is outgrowing his body. Mr. ZZ Top, Mr. Comic Man Andy.
I don't think that's possible. What's good, everybody? It's Tuesday. Brian, do you know why the snowman was smiling?
Why?
Because he saw the snowblower coming.
But
you know what?
I can't believe you guys talking about how cold it is. It's a high of 32 today here in Michigan. Like 32.
Wonderful.
Yeah, well, you're from like Kalamazoo, Cares, Michigan or whatever.
Oh, boy.
I did have a good joke. I had a farmer joke I was going to tell, but then I held back because I thought it was going to be a little corny.
Are you still trying to dig that one up? Yeah. Did you plant it? Did you plant it nice and early? And now you got to dig it up?
Yeah.
Farming.
But welcome those coming into the chat. Our awesome regulars. We got Mitch Joel. We got Cantankerous. Get out there in good old California. But GTK Comics, best avatar on YouTube as always. But hey, I know, Brian, you've mentioned this in a couple topics on this show. I know you mentioned it on your channel, and it seems to be picking up more steam. Good friend of the channel and Canto author Drew Zucker has been very vocal on his Facebook channel lately. But we're going to talk about AI art. AI art. There's a bunch of articles out there. There's some Reddit threads out there as well. And then the article is basically, is AI art gonna doom photographer careers, but also artist careers? It's a heated topic. I know we have a screenshot of Drew Zucker's Facebook post, but I know, as you said, McClay, some of it's great to look at, but it's also some of it's kind of lazy. But
it's a fine line, my friend. Very fine line. And we deal with this all the time in comics. Some people just don't see it. Some people don't choose to see it. Some people make money off of it even. And it's very, very fine line to walk. You have to be very careful about walking that line of theft and imitation, right? Or homage, as you would say.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, we were, I won't say complaining is not the right word, but digital art, like the way people are doing all art digitally just on on no longer through ink and pen, but actually tablets. People are frustrated over that. This takes that to a whole nother level.
Yeah, because it's literally going out there and stealing parts of people's images, right? Whether you put up an image on your Facebook page that says, "Look at this Spider-Man art," right? Or you're an artist that has a deviant art page that makes a really cool Spider-Man picture. It's if your art says Spider-Man in it, it's grabbing that and utilizing that in its final image. And there's times where you can kind of pick out, the artist or maybe the art that it's taking from. You can tell it to take from certain artists. You can tell it to basically do whatever you want. It's very scary. The thing at this point though is I don't think it's gotten to the stage where it's like scary. When it gets to, when it passes that quote unquote uncanny valley, right? Where there's certain little things when you look at them that you can go, I'm pretty sure that this is AI. You know what I mean? There's these fine things that you see, but it's getting better and better every day, right? And the algorithms are getting better. They're not only using this for visual art, right? They're using it for written art now. You can have AI write you a whole freaking novel if you want. So it's very scary, and there's a lot of artists out there who are talking about it right now, and rightfully so. You brought up the digital art stuff. Boss Logic was at an event not too long ago, and it was very interesting because he brought it up. He said, back when we were first getting it started and then getting a footing in the art, world, people looked at us like we were not real artists. How do we feel about AI artists, right? Are they real artists or not? And he was just asking the question, and I thought that was so great. But when the artists start keying in on it, that's when you really pay attention. And it's very interesting. It's I'm going to continue to watch. I'm going to continue to look and see what they're saying. And but man, there's a lot of hypocrites out there, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then Containers brought up a good thing, and I was also wondering, just like when Napster and all that stuff was first coming around, that the DRM, or even let's say DVDs, when you're trying to copy DVDs using Nero and stuff like that, and they always had like DRM. I wonder if there's any kind of data rights or copyright type that maybe even pay for it, apply to your art when you publish it online, so that it kind of blocks it or scales it out, so anything fishing for these AI to grab it, if there's any type of protection that the artist can use. And if there isn't, there's definitely a need out there that someone who could design that and program it could probably make some good money on.
Yeah.
So when you say scary, what do you mean scary?
I mean, there's multiple scary parts in there. One, you're starting to give a lot of power to the machine, right? That's first things first. The conspiracy theorist in me says it. Two, you're losing your rights even more. Like, this is just another thing where you lose personal rights, right? Three, if you're a true artist, if you're an artist and you make your living off of this, now you just lost out. Like, if you were a professional, if you loved being a bag man at a grocery store, or a clerk at a grocery store, it's like the self-pay machines coming in, right? These are taking money from artists' hands right here. This is taking money. I talked about display plates the other day. Go look at displayplates.com and tell me that it isn't ripe for the picking in the AI art world. They don't even need to pay artists anymore for ideas. They can just use the AI machine to do it for them.
We're gonna get like Milli Vanilli of art.
Oof. Yes. And then at the same time, it's kind of like we're saying it's okay for thievery and theft of ideas. So
IP.
See, that's exactly hitting the nail on the head right there. Is where I was I kind of wanted to challenge what Mitch was saying here, was that it might not necessarily be utilizing the art, but what happens if an artist creates a series of art pieces based on intellectual property for a book or a story that they haven't finished creating yet? And now the AI takes that and just compounds that, and it becomes public, where people are utilizing this app to create all these pictures on social media and TikTok and all these other places. And now their intellectual property is somehow not diluted, but it's unknowingly stolen from them, or it's out in the public. And color schemes, backgrounds, the world behind the characters in the artwork is intellectual property of artists. And that's where this is a very, very real thing that does need to be addressed. Is yes, it's not necessarily quote unquote stealing the art, but when it's utilizing it and for likenesses, what was Joe, what he said, they're created art inspired by what others have created. Well, if whether it's inspired, it's utilizing intellectual property that may or may not be there, that only the artist can tell. And then if it's compromised, that's the word I'm looking for. Now their intellectual property is compromised out to the public. Therefore, when let's say George R.R. Martin has art pieces or something that come out for this next series of book, and this AI art dabs into that, now his intellectual property is now compromised, and that his earnings could suffer dramatically because of that, or they could not be a show, or could not be a movie. You could rabbit hole the hell out of this, and it is kind of hit the nail on the head there with the IP.
The only reason why I bring that up is because, so it's quote unquote stealing images or taking images from that it scours and finds on the internet or wherever it finds it at, right? Someone had to create the original images. It wasn't created by that, but it's taking those images and then using that data to be able to create whatever it is, to say if it's Spider-Man or whatever. I'm not saying I'm for it or against it or whatever, but I likened it to a little bit to, as a financial advisor, there was robo advisors coming out for a while. Well, it was still coming out. And I remember there was a few years where people were like, hey man, your job's about to be gone. Like, are you going to jump? Are you going to try to, find another career or what? I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, the robo advisors are coming in. They can analyze the data from the market and they're doing a better picking job at creating or doing a better job of picking the stocks that you need to be in and put you into. And I'm not gonna lie, for a minute there, I was like, yeah, it's a little bit worrisome because that is part of our job, but there's a human element that can never be recreated. And the human element, and I noticed this actually this past within the past couple of weeks, because meeting with somebody and talking with them and being able to hear what's going on with that, with their circumstances, and be able to think through and think beyond what's right in front of me. It was more of a human element to it, because trying to find what's best for that client versus what is best via data or via the historics or whatever you might call it. So I think that the AI art will drive it will push people to change, and it's going to affect in some ways. I don't know I think some areas, like we talked about, there's tellers at banks, and now they're turning them into robo tellers, where you go into a bank and you don't even see a teller. But they were talking at one point, about closing down branches and just having, electronic tellers there and no one else at the bank. But they quickly poo-pooed that idea, because there's a human element to it that people don't want to talk to someone like that. And that's dealing with money. Now, when you're dealing with art, like Brian has said a number of times, he can look at something, and before this conversation even came about, he's like, that looks like AI art. And he could tell it right off the bat. He could kind of tell specifically what it is. And so what I think will happen is that it could cheapen the medium, or it could cheapen the stuff that's being made by AR, where the human art becomes more valuable because of the human element, and it could actually work in favor of for the human artist.
Are we gonna see AI art on heritage auctions? No, but one thing also is, it seems like a copyright nightmare. Like, I could see the frustration from artists, but I mean, it seems like a copyright nightmare of how do you prove like your art was sampled in it, even though there is likeness. There was another article there where there's this artist that is known for landscapes. He's done like Horizon Zero Dawn, bunch of Dungeons and Dragons. and he's frustrated because a lot of when people do a lot of those type AI arts, he's noticing a lot of his paintings are kind of what's being referenced. So I put the link to that article in the chat too. But and then I know you had Drew Zucker's Facebook post up there a minute ago as well. When you become a fan of certain artists' artwork and then you're seeing stuff that comes up, I see it. It's an easy button for a lot of people as far as AI art. I'm sure there's probably a value to it, but it's like, how do you regulate it, or how do you protect it, or you're always looking after data rights. I mean, it's IT in general. Everything that applies to IT applies to this as well. It's data rights, intellectual property, so forth. So,
and I didn't know. I mean, Clay was pointing out that they're writing in writing books and stuff like that. But I would almost imagine that as you read that, you're going to be able to pull where those the ideas, like after a while, you might be able to pull like, hey, sounds real similar to so-and-so's writing or whatever writing it might be, because it's going to probably find it would probably find an artist or someone to kind of base a lot of its writing off of. And I mean, let's face it, nowadays ideas and art and stuff like that, you're influenced by what you see and what you listen to. I mean, as a musician, we'd make music, but we would have to like critique what we were playing, because like, man, the new Lamb of God album came out and we're all jamming out to it, and then lo and behold, we're writing stuff that's similar to it, and we had to come back and kind of change it because it was critiquing, but you have to self critique it, so it is nerve-wracking in some instances, like you're saying, but I think that it will just kind of push the boundaries, and it'll be something that I don't think it'll be so much scary, but it'll be something, another thing out there that will probably end up becoming less of an issue down the road.
Well, here's a really interesting comment really quick that could add to this, maybe, and might find a path to help out, is Three Rivers being composed by a human is art, regardless of where the sounds come from. Is not art if a machine generates it with no human touch, in my opinion. That's not the comment I was actually looking for. Sorry. Was it Joel here writing? Oh, I missed it. I lost it. Where they talk about sampling. Somebody in the comments was talking about how music used to be music now is sampled.
Yeah, it's called hip hop.
Well, yeah, but the original artists, computer algorithms detect the original artist, and
there's usually attribution given too.
Yeah,
so another thing comes up, and it reminds me of Vanilla Ice saying that they didn't sample David Bowie because there's like, no, because David Bowie goes dun 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 dun. Ours went dun 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 dun. It's like
you can kind of see where that was going. I can't find that comment to give him credit at the time, but like they created software to develop, or not develop, but to detect that when somebody's sampling, they're going to get credit for that. And it's not 100% perfect, but maybe that's a route they can take, is create software, embed software within that AI that is giving credit to the original artist. And if money's being made, like, look, we can't make money on a monetized video on YouTube if there's originally owned content being utilized in that video. YouTube does it on an hourly, minutely basis all the time.
It's like turn it in program for college papers now, or shoot, I got hit with not a copyright strike, but non-monetization for just the showing the trailer last week with the sound down.
Oh,
even
really?
with the sound off?
Yeah. I was like, whatever. But
did you fight it?
So I don't know what algorithm they're doing, but
did you fight it?
No, I did an appeal, but it
automatic.
It's that thing where it's not like a parent. You didn't do anything wrong. We're just disappointed in you. I didn't get a copyright strike, but it just said you can't monetize this.
I know, but I hate that because it's obvious that we're doing it for fair use. We're reviewing or commenting. It's commentary on something.
Yeah, that's why I wonder how those reaction channels do. I mean,
they get hit all the time, bro.
Yeah,
it's constant. So it's a pain in the ass, man.
I think they utilize shows like that on YouTube to build a viewer base or a fan base, or to meet the people they want their message to get to, and they just don't those videos that earn 500,000 or 1 million views, they just don't earn any money on it. It's how they're getting the people that want to see their content.
Yeah. So yeah, Mitch Joel brings up a good point, but maybe not sampling, but it's using stuff for reference, right?
Yeah, but also it's different. It's different because it's AI creates. He's exactly right. The AI is creating based on.
Yeah, I saw that crappy ass Spielberg movie.
But then again, isn't a hip hop artist that's sampling an original artist's work also?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I mean, I was making a joke, but there's a lot of, what I like about that also is a lot of times hip hop turns me on to the original music that's sampled.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, Otis Redding. I mean, not that there's a bunch of great music that's out there that you're familiar with it, and then you hear it in a newer song, and it's like, oh yeah, and then you go back and listen to the old stuff again. Older stuff, not old stuff.
It's definitely an interesting topic for sure.
I'm anxious to see where this topic goes and how much we're discussing about it, in the coming future, and how it's going to affect comics. I mean, comics is a small footprint, I think, when it comes to AI art, because as you mentioned, it's not just, painting type art. It's written word also. So we'll see.
Yep. It's going to be very interesting coming in the near future also, because I think that there's going to be more and more talk about it as people learn more and more about it. And, listen, this is something very interesting, especially with what's going on in the world, especially comics and everything right now. There's a lot of hypocrites out there that will take a stance on something, but the second they're making money off of it, they'll ease that stance, right? You're making money off of it now. Hey, you don't want to hurt. Hey, I'm making money off of it now. I don't want it to look bad, that type of thing. So it's a very interesting world that we live in, where we got to play within certain rules.
Yeah.
Speaking of talking, oh boy, is there a lot of talk going on right now with Wednesday fans prove Emma Myers would be the perfect Spider-Gwen. Fans want to see Wednesday's breakout star Emma Myers bring fan favorite Marvel character or comics character Spider-Gwen to life in a live action project. After watching Wednesday, if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix, right, guys?
Yes.
Marvel fans want to see star Emma cast as Spider-Gwen. While most of Netflix series' glowing reviews have focused on Jenna Ortega's lead performance as the title character, Wednesday Addams, Myers has received some attention for a breakout role as Wednesday's colorful werewolf roommate friend, Enid Sinclair. With her shoulder-length purple streaked blonde hair, some of the fans have drawn comparisons between Myers, Enid, and Marvel Comics superhero Gwen Stacy Spider-Gwen. They've also pointed out that Myers herself has stated that she would love to portray Spider-Gwen in live action, with many hoping their tweets of support can turn her dream casting into a reality.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say I don't even think those are real pictures. I think that's AI art.
I was just about to say that, bro. The AI art is going to start changing the world of fan castings, man. It's going to be so easy. I could pull up Midjourney right now. I could pull up the Discord server and literally type in this girl's name as Spider-Gwen, and it would give us these pictures, like close to these pictures, as a matter of fact. Yeah. I'll do it. Watch. Keep talking. I'll bring it up.
Have you guys watched Wednesday yet? I haven't been able to watch. I haven't watched it, but I heard a lot of people are loving it.
I didn't even know it was dropping until just this past week. People have been talking about it so much, and people have been talking about it so much. It's like, now I want to watch it. I've never been a massive Addams Family fan. I mean, in the 90s with the Nintendo game that came out, maybe that was the late 80s. And then the cartoon that was out for a hot minute, and it was fun, but like, I've never been a huge diehard fan, but this makes me want to get on Netflix tonight and check out this show.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be a great Spider-Gwen, but an awesome Ghost Spider.
Wait.
But it's back to Spider-Gwen now, isn't it? Didn't it go Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, back to Spider-Gwen?
I don't know now. I'm confused. Oh, you're a bot.
They also just launched the new trailer for the Spider-Verse movie today.
Yeah, why are we not talking about that tonight?
Because it came out after the outline was put out there.
We'll just hire an AI bot.
I asked AI to fix the outline. For a horrible job. But
It's already set. You can't go back.
Tuesday.
I'm
waiting for the sequel Thursday.
None of you, oh God, none of you guys have seen Wednesday yet? Or
no?
Wow.
And I haven't even seen the Black Panther thing yet.
Yeah. Well, Black Panthers, you're talking about the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. At least Wednesday's on Netflix. You can watch it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Panther shouldn't be too
I've
far.
been watching World Cup.
Of course. You and the foosball, Bobby.
Foosball.
Bobby Boucher. Bobby Boucher.
Show me your boobies, and I like them too.
I don't know where to sit on this because I don't know this actor. I don't know Spider-Gwen much at all. Spider-Gwen's beyond my time, really. And I got to trust the fandom. I got to trust the fans. If everybody out there, I mean, it's no joke when they say that tons and tons of people are out there tweeting and sending messages supporting her being cast. I got to go with the fandom and then just watch the movie and see what happens.
Yeah. I'm sure it's bound to happen at some point, but how soon do you think before you get a live action Spider-Gwen?
Ooh, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I guarantee that's already in talks.
2 to 4 years?
I don't know. If you're talking about Sony here, they messed stuff up. It's Morbin time. But who knows?
Okay, 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And 2 stars. I mean,
yeah. And
Brian's still
put a good comment in there about speculating on the new Spider-Verse movie. It's just there's a lot of stuff going on in the trailer, and the first movie was a little bit easier, and I have no doubt the sequel will live up to the first movie as far as entertainment and movie goes, but from a comic book perspective, I mean, shit, you saw how Spider-Man 2099 went after just that scene at the end, so it was crazy. Who knows?
Katayao.
It cooled off.
Was it like the Spot is the main villain in the first one? I don't know if it's in both of them, but
Spider-Punk cooled off too a bit until recently.
Yeah,
I think.
But I mean, who knows with Spider-Verse movies? Because are they still making that stupid Bad Bunny? What role was he playing? Like, I think the villain, they were making a movie out of the villain that had like a two panel book arc in a book.
I don't know.
But Katanga is taking big bets, saying Morocco is going to win it all.
Cosmic One's got a good point. I mean, if her and Riri, with their age match.
Yeah.
It keeps on won't let me do it for some reason. That's interesting. I wonder if there's something that
they found a block.
Stops. Yeah, they got a weird block on it, like you said. That's interesting. Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, the Three Rivers comment here is exactly what people talked about a year and a half ago when it first started picking up, and a lot of the books were, I don't know if you want to say plateauing, but reaching new highs maybe. And people are like, this isn't sustainable because they're going to throw a gazillion characters out here, and then people are just not going to, it's oversaturation.
Well, yeah. I mean, just in general, not even just that movie, but there's so much. And as soon as the movie spec to me or TV spec is just kind of washed out at the moment. But that's just me and my collecting hobby. So who knows?
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, you could do a whole episode on where that was 2 or 3 years ago or 4 years ago or 5 years ago to now. Is the community doesn't react anywhere near like it used to.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. So that means it's obviously having a very, very different effect.
That's because you just had a comic book media explosion over the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Yep. But I mean, look at how books trend now versus 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Books trend for about 4 to 8 days.
I'm still holding out for Southern Bastards, though.
That is a good read. Some books trend for maybe up to 2 weeks, then kind of plateau. But it's like everything new comic book day, you just got to give it that week, that week to 10 days, and you'll be able to find stuff for way cheaper the week or two after.
Yeah. Wow.
El Muerto, that's it. Thanks, Jay Nunya. Right, that's the Bad Bunny.
Yeah, that book dropped big time, man. Big time. Everything's all of the it's the comic market's really weird now. It's very
it's a
interesting
buyer's market.
Oh, it's beyond a buyer's market, but every once in a while you get a couple outliers that are selling well. And it's very interesting because the exclusive market has died, but some of the biggest current books are exclusives, right? Retailer exclusives. And
are you talking books within the last few months or year or so?
Yeah, everything. The majority of exclusives out there don't sell well on the secondary market. Period.
You know what this is doing right now, right? The way the market's reacting is it's actually helping to determine what the actual blue chip moderns are going to be. Look at Walking Dead and the way that's holding up.
Yeah, look at $2,300 9/8 right now.
It's still it did recede. It did go down, but look at that, or look at the Diamond Retailer Summit Saga, the RRP or the RR. That one
sold for a nice amount too.
You look for those limited books that people were like, this is gonna hold. How is this gonna weather the storm? This is where you begin to see your new blue chip moderns not only tread water, but then continue to gain value over time over the next 5+ years.
So, what was the highest a Walking Dead CGC 9/8 sold for?
I want to say it was close to like 10 grand.
$5,000.
Really?
I was
about to say
the 9.9 went for almost 10 grand, but the highest 9/8 was $5,000. Trust me, I've been watching very closely for a while now because I want to get that book back.
Maybe $4,100 is what I'm seeing. Let me see here. Hold on. Sold price range. Yeah, it sounds like 4,000 is what it sold for at a high recently. So that's quite a bit. Not recently, within the last 2 years.
Like, I'm talking like when season 3, season 4 came out.
2021 Walking Dead had a high sale of 4,999 on GPA. And that was last
Signature
year.
Series Robert Kirkman sold on March 19th for $4,174.
Oh wow. We had a standard Blue Label sale of 4,900 on March 5th. And then so this is where people start to battle sometimes, and they have a little bit. And then October 29th, there was one that sold. I don't know. That doesn't sound. It's GPA.
Yeah, I use Terapeak. I like Terapeak. On Terapeak, it's like 3,300 was about the average price back in about this time last year, and now that's for a 9/8 white pages, and now it's around 2,300. So
yeah, 12-month average was about $3,000. 90-day average right now is 2,700 to 2,800. That's a book that we had at one point that we're fighting tooth and nail to save up for. $50 here, $50 there, to try to put back in the collection. And all of 2020 and all of 2021, this book just started to become unobtainium. So we're paying really close attention to the market on this right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and 9/9 sold for 14,000.
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow. Yeah. Well, we were talking to an artist on the show Saturday night, new young artist that goes by Art by Fitz, and just a really cool artist, cool dude. And we were talking to him about, what he's been buying recently comic wise. And he said over the last year, he has been buying the hell out of DC Keys. And you know what we did? We all applauded him, because if there ever was a time to buy DC Keys, it's been the last year to 6 months, because you're paying amazing prices that for books that will go back up again. But sometimes we hear some news about DC and what's going on over there, and it's very interesting. And even though we have the recent James Gunn excitement, Lobo and Kingdom Come and Black Adam, all that stuff, maybe Green Lantern, hopefully the Green Lantern stuff will be good. You also hear about those big movies that you thought that they would not and being over, and that's Wonder Woman. No more Wonder Woman 3, which is very interesting considering, it was Patty Jenkins. That was a Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot push, right? I mean, very, very woman power, women, in the professional movie world. And now that's been scrapped, which is very interesting.
And part of it is Patty Jenkins' ego.
Oh,
100%.
They asked her to rework the script or rewrite the script, and she was like, "Fuck y'all."
Yep. She has got a big head right now, and she lost this and lost that Star Wars. Maybe this is her time to maybe rethink how big that head is, man.
Would have been just like, did you watch the second movie?
Yeah, bad, beyond bad, and people know it. But she had that big, huge thing where she did at what was that? Not D23. Was it Star Wars Celebration where?
Yeah,
she talked about the Top Gun style X-Wing movie she was going to do, and we were so stoked, man. Yeah. Well, that fell apart too, and I imagine because she, caused that fall apart. But yeah, it's very interesting, man. I wonder what's going to happen now with Wonder Woman. I think that's one of the few characters that I didn't expect to have any issues moving forward, and here we are. No Man of Steel 2 either.
Yeah, I like the first movie. The second one was horrible. It was like Mandalorian genie, but I'm not heartbroken over the third one being scrapped, especially if they usually they just scrap your shit, man. They told her, "Hey, do you mind rewriting the thing?" And then here's one I don't even think James Gunn was involved in this part, right?
No,
this was before that, so it was just no. I'm not rewriting my stuff. I'm taking you guys don't recognize good talent and peace out. So
deuces.
Yeah. It says here that she, quote, didn't want to hear Gunn and Safran's thoughts on anything. She said, screw it. I'm not going to. It says here, quote, she just doesn't want to allow them to have a seat at a table to have an opinion on something new that she might come up with. So
good. She just collectively saved most of the world about $20 per person.
You also just collectively trashed a bunch of jobs too.
Yeah. That does suck. I mean, to make light of that. I mean, honestly, I'm the oddball kind of Wonder Woman. Let me rephrase that. I'm kind of like just the odd. No, maybe I'm not an oddball. I'm just a Gal Gadot gazing fool. Where if it's a terrible movie, I'd still go and watch it because it's Gal Gadot.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm curious to see what's going on because I mean, shakeups all around, especially with the whole Discovery HBO Max stuff, man. I mean, you saw Westworld and you saw HBO Max. They just cancel Westworld. They're like deleting it off HBO Max here soon.
Wait! Didn't they just release a season? You're crushing my heart here. I was expecting to go watch a new season here soon.
Season 4 just ended not too long ago. I say not too long ago, it could be a year because time goes by quick. But they canceled it after that, and then now they're about to delete it off HBO Max.
Why? That was one of the. It's a whole nother show here. Oh my god.
There's rumor that they're deleting off HBO Max because I guess Discovery Plus and HBO is supposed to have some type of follow suit with everyone else and have some cheaper or free ad based, and that it might show up there. Who knows?
Oh boy.
Yeah,
that's where I sit. I'm just a Gal Gadot fan. Like you could slap any random superhero name on it, and if it's got her in an outfit, I would go and watch it.
If we're gonna remake movies, can we just get a Margot Robbie, Gal Gadot remake of Wild Things?
Hey, now we're talking.
We're thinking about it here.
I mean, hey, whoa.
Last was us.
Oh God,
that's your mouth.
That hurts, man. Yeah. It's right in the heart.
Oh boy. Anyways, Ryan, what do you have for us this week?
Well, New Year is right around the corner, and I know everyone's gearing up for the old massive Chris, but I'm starting, planning and trying to do my stuff for this coming year. But I was curious as to what y'all are looking forward to next year. Is there a game or is there any series or a movie that's coming out next year that y'all know of that y'all are looking forward to? I mean, Andy, come on. You want to go first? Go ahead, buddy.
No, everybody knows. You guys can go.
We all know you're talking about Chris Pratt Mario.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm looking forward to, man. That's a great question.
One you're looking forward to, and one that you're worried that thing's gonna suck.
I'm looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
that's probably like my favorite MCU franchise. My second favorite is Black Panther, but I haven't seen Wakanda Forever yet. It's just been crazy busy with work. But Last of Us, I am excited for that.
I want to play this game.
Favorite show on TV right now with all the spinoffs is of course Yellowstone. If you're not watching Yellowstone, definitely missing out.
Jedi Survivor.
Yes.
The game.
Yes. Yep. Sequel. That's that's one of the things. June. I think it's June Cosmic One that I'm really excited for because my son and I have been watching the original game and having a blast, and we're actually getting ready to sit down over the holiday season and play that together on the PS5. Which means we could roll into Jedi Survivor together. And I love my little gaming buddy over there. It might not be 2-player, but that doesn't mean we can't play it together. You know what I mean?
That was definitely my favorite Star Wars game, the first one.
I mean, you guys know wholeheartedly, 1,000,000%, I'm looking forward to The Last of Us. But the most important thing that I'm looking forward to is the world collectively still turning. Everything that's happened over the last 2 or 3 years, we're still moving, and that means there's hope and there's lots of good things coming. There's talks of amazing movies and amazing video games coming out, and a lot of great content that we didn't get in 2020 and beginning of 2021. And so far, there's a lot of hope and optimism going into 2023, and that's something that really, really makes me happy.
I'm looking forward to playing this Spider-Man game when it comes out.
The new one.
Yeah,
there's a lot of talk that it's going to have a playable Venom on it.
I'm pissed off college football got pushed off for another year. NCAA.
What do you mean? The game?
Yeah, the game is supposed to come out this coming summer, I believe, and they pushed it back another year. I don't buy Madden. Fuck Madden. That's just stupid.
You're an idiot.
Cantankerous here.
Diablo 4. Yeah, that's a good one.
I like Madden.
Diablo 4 is one I'm looking forward to.
I can't wait for some more button mashing. Diablo 4. What is it? April, May?
It was supposed to be a Christmas release, and it got pushed back. You can watch like the first act online. Yep. I still play the shit out of Diablo 3. I started on PC, and then it came over to console, moved over to console.
Same. I remember absolutely going from Diablo 2 to Diablo 3 and being crushed that it was going to console, or that I was going to console for some reason. Whether or not I had a PC at the time, I don't remember. And now I am not looking back. I love playing that game on console.
My friend got pissed because playing on PC, and we wouldn't use his Ventrilo server anymore. It always defaulted you into his like World of Warcraft channel, and then he'd move us. And I was like, I'm not using that because we get into your World of Warcraft and everyone's fucking yelling at each other because Leroy Jenkins is fucking shit up in there. So we just created our own Ventrilo server, and he got mad. And then we started playing over on console. So
I remember Ventrilo servers, $14.99 a month for the whole package, the big one.
I think Spider-Man is supposed to come out in April, so that's gonna be pretty. I'm really.
I mean, that's a tough one because I know that there's a bunch of stuff coming out, but
there's not. Is there a bunch of stuff coming out? Like, am I just not thinking of it?
That's why I mean, it's like if you were to see it, you'd be like, oh yeah, but it's just hard because one, I'm damn old, and it's almost 10 o'clock at night. So my brain's down.
eBay Live.
Yep, eBay Live.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that. Man, I don't know. There's no comics that I can think of that I'm looking forward to next year. Which is sad. That's a first in a long time. How has Saga been, Andy?
Saga's been on a excuse my language. Yeah, it's been on another effing hiatus. Comes back January, if I remember correctly. And it was like we just got teased. We got teased for an arc. It's like, okay, back in 6 months. And it's like, and I don't even know what happened. I'm not going to dig into what happened. I'm beyond that. Like, they have a plan for the last 54 issues, and they promise that he's promised that he has it written in his head. Like he's got a whole plan for 54. So if if they're gonna take another break, then so be it. I'll be here when they come back.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some great stuff in the chat also. OG StarCraft, Sons of Sinister, Baldur's Gate, a lot of game stuff in there.
Tony Fleece is doing a new comic coming out. What looks interesting? Him and Tim Seeley. That might be good.
I have his variant cover for a book in my picks for tomorrow too.
Is the cat game already out where you're a cat?
I don't know. I heard about that game. That game looks cool.
Stray?
Yeah.
Stray?
Is that what it is?
Stray,
that was one of the big PS5 hits over the last 12 months.
So it did come out.
Yeah. Speaking of,
that's interesting.
New comic book day tomorrow. What are you guys getting?
There's not much coming out tomorrow, man, to be honest.
I have a bunch of my picks, like just stuff I'm picking up from a reading. Ooh, I kind of like that, but nothing. Batman Spawn.
Yeah, Batman Spawn's coming out, which is nice.
Garbage Pail Kid Origins, of course.
Yeah, that's the only book that I'm picking up is that Origins. I want the variant, the Adam Bomb Fartin variant, but there's so many of these damn covers, man, for Batman Spawn, and
I'm just picking it up for McFarlane Capullo, man. I mean, there's one thing I wanted to show you also. If you look at the Dynamite book for Sweetie Candy Vigilante #3, I want to see if they're describing this variant as the same way as Midtown was. They're calling it like an album homage cover, but when you see it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
This one right here,
yeah.
This was one of my FOC picks. Yeah, this is really nice.
To me, it's Chamber of Chills always, but of course we have the Misfits albums cover. But
no, that's cool.
Been swiped 6 million times, but
but it looks enough off the original that you can tell it's an homage and not an exact. You know what? That brings up another thing that I'm gonna say right now. Please, you guys, if you do an homage out there, change something up a little bit. Change it up. Do an homage and not a swipe, or do an homage and not a 98% exact copy. So as long as there's it's the true sense of the word, you're homaging something and not stealing something, because man, there's a lot of variants out there that just look so exactly alike that it's not fun anymore. It just. But this, you can tell, it's different. It's a true homage.
Yeah. The Tony Fleece cover I was talking about is for Dark Ride #3. And when you see it, you'll know why I like it also. Third one on the top. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Disney, that's nice.
Yeah, it's like cool. A Snow White swipe.
That is cool right there. That's a good one. Yeah. I like that one. This is the Garbage Pail Kids one.
Yeah.
That I love.
I had that sticker, and you know where I put that damn sticker? Right on the ass cheeks of my chair, right where the crack would be in the chair that I sat in as a kid, because it was my fart zone.
Yeah.
Fart zone.
They also do an homage cover. So I don't know, man. I'm getting a little tired of it all.
There was there's an indie called Bone Check #1 from Legends Comics. I don't even know if they'll have it in there or not, but
Bone Check #1.
There you go.
Ooh. That looks pretty crazy.
Bone Check.
Yeah, it's like a bounty hunter for like, I'm trying to remember what even that cover's cool as shit.
13 people have gone missing from the trustworthy motel, with an ancestral bar tab hanging over his head at the local saloon. A shadow infested stranger with an ever so sinister smile accepts a bounty to investigate and eradicate. Armed with a savage instrument of pain, luxurious cigars, and a flask full of damn near poisonous hard liquor, the cryptic bounty hunter will set out to collect his bone check. I think that's very cool, man.
I like that.
Yeah.
And that cover's pretty cool.
Bone check.
Can you pull up Art Brute when you're
That's
done
a
with
Ben Templesmith cover there.
Yeah, dude. I got to be honest. I'm not a fan of Templesmith.
Yeah, I was just saying
anymore.
he's hit or miss, right? Kind of like
he's
Rossimo.
weird, bro. Like he comes off kind of weird, man, and I don't know. Sometimes, like they say, don't meet your heroes. I met Templesmith at a con recently, and I was like, dude, this dude's kind of fucking weird, man. I'm sorry, but Art Brute was one of the ones that I had picked. Also, I love this Mona Lisa cover right there. It looks very interesting.
Yeah, there's like a Spawn cover too, right?
Yeah, I'm staying away from those Spawn covers, man. This is the only one that looked decent, but
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, I was a huge fan of Brent Templesmith back in the day. Huge. He did a book called The Mad Hatter, based off of a book of like a Alice in Wonderland style book. This right here is amazing, dude. I love this.
Yeah, and the fact that it's Tony Fleece is cool.
Yeah. Great art. I love this. This is probably book of the week right here. Good stuff. Very good.
What's that?
Anyone else got stuff for tomorrow?
ASM. There's an ASM that has Venom on it, so I'm picking that up.
Is it Venom?
Yeah.
JRJR. That's an actual decent looking JRJR for the first time in a long time.
Look at the other one.
Normally it's just okay.
Venom cover. That white one.
Yeah, the McGinnis.
Yeah,
there's Venom.
That was cool.
Maybe the other one is just looks Venom.
So what is the dark web thing?
JRJR.
It's an event they're doing again, which is not good. It has to do with Ben Reilly and Chasm, and so I don't know.
So I can't keep up with that.
Looks too much like Grimm.
Yeah, not a fan.
Is that all you're grabbing, Ryan?
There's also a Savage Avengers coming out. I've been reading that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Is that got Doom 2099 in it?
I don't know if it's 2099.
Isn't that Doom 2099?
It might be 29. I know it's Doom's in it, but
that's badass, dude.
It's been a pretty good story. I've actually enjoyed this one. I've been reading this, and I've enjoyed that one and the Variants one. The Variants comic, it came out last week, but Variants has been pretty good too.
Yeah, Doom 2099. That's badass. Doom 2099 was a good series, man.
Yeah,
really good series.
That's a cool cover too.
Yeah,
I like Black Knight.
Yeah, I like the Anti-Venom character too.
Oh yeah. Obviously, yeah, I dig him a ton. Is that Alien? There's not an Alien doesn't come out tomorrow, right?
No. So.
There's Mandalorian and Bounty Hunters are the Star Wars books, but they don't look that great.
Well,
the Vicious Circle.
Vicious Circle looks pretty cool, especially the Virgin Alex Garner.
See, now I don't disagree with that, but the second you read the premise, it sounds like a shitstorm of a book to try to keep up with. Like, it sounds like it's gonna bounce around like a
it's time travel assassins, bro.
Like, I mean, the last time travel book that I tried to read started out really good. It was Declan Shelby's. I can't remember it off the top of my head. And it just got really hard. They've got to do a really good job of painting a very clear picture of where the reader is and where the characters are. And if they don't, the book's going to go terrible. Like, it's just going to be so hard to keep up with where they're at and what they're doing. I like the premise. I think I better give it a shot. I mean,
I have it on my list, and also that it's what's his name, Mattson Tomlin, like the screenwriter
Dude, that's a good cover right there, man. Great Linsner cover.
Yeah.
Weed Richards, Mando 6, 1 in 50, glorious. I'm kind of curious on where he saw the beauty in that when you get there, McClay, because
that is beautiful right there. Holy cow.
That's a tattoo.
Vampirilla.
That's where my brain
lyrics.
went to tattoo.
Lyrics Ultraviolet Virgin. That is beautiful, man. Holy cow. Look at that stained glass. I remember this was one of my FOC books a few weeks back.
That's got just that perfect blank title card at top for signatures right there.
I love the ultraviolet variants they're doing, man. They did one for the Ninjets that was really good. That Lyrics did. Yeah, man. I mean, even the original is good. Look at the original right here.
I actually like it better with the trade dress.
Ooh.
It's the ultraviolet. Yeah, the
That
trade
one.
dress does look good. Yeah. It's the ultraviolet one that kills, just beautiful colors. Love that. Yeah, it's good stuff.
What noise is that?
What, Mandalorian, right?
Yeah. Mandalorian 6, Weed Richards is talking about the 1 in 50. And all of the copies going to my LCS, all the ratio variants must have been damaged because none of them are in my pull box for tomorrow, which is odd. And the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this was our topic of AI art tonight. Because look at the eyes. The eyes, it just looks like
it looks like Christmas ornaments.
Copy, yeah, that and copy and pasted on there. And I'm like, I like it. I like the premise. I like the idea, but I couldn't after our topic being burned in my brain about AI art. I just couldn't shake that when I looked at this cover.
I wish he was flipping him the bird. Yeah. That would be hilarious.
I mean, it's still on my pull list. If it got damaged and they get replacements, I'll still get it. I buy all the ratios for Star Wars books except for the store exclusives. I can see this one doing all right for the Mando fans, for the Grogu fans. These, I'm surprised, have not done better, and I think it's just their use of real estate. Their use of real estate is so limited on these show picture variants or movie variants.
Concept art.
Yeah, concept art. Their use of real estate is just not very good. Was that a Raza?
No, Yagawa. Ricky Yagawa.
I literally have Mandalorian on the pull list. I've got Bounty Hunters on the list. The Turtles crossover book that's coming out. So it's like I've got 3 titles to read tomorrow. That's it. I'm debating whether or not I even do the show. You guys in the chat, if you guys should I do my normal Wednesday show with only 3 titles and hang out and talk with you guys? I'd still like to do that. Just say something in the chat.
Do it.
So.
Do it.
God, what was another cover I like though?
And there's very few out there that are decent books that I'm looking forward to. So it's a bummer. It's a bummer.
So,
yeah.
That's new comic book day, which is just going to leave us with Andy. One more thing. What do you got?
That AI art got you. You talking to me?
Yeah, there, Travis Bickle.
My one more thing this week is a big one. I'm calling on the community's help because we've spent 2022 working to do many things for other people, and I'm asking you guys to help us out for the start in 2023. As I'm really over the moon and excited. We talked about new content coming to the Comic Mania YouTube channel and other areas of the community, and where we're going to be spending time with McClay and Brian and Rhino and other things. The channel, we've talked about getting new content out, and here it is. The very first images have been released. As you guys know how over the moon and pumped I am for The Last of Us. If you guys haven't, please go over and sub the Comic Man Indie YouTube channel. I've got a guest panel that we are going to be doing Monday night streams every week from January 2nd to March 20th. 2 episodes leading up to the first episode of Last of Us, all the way to the end, and we'll even do a finale. We are absolutely incredibly excited. There's Jackson from Bored and Annoyed podcast and Double O, who you see out in the community over on Tales from the Dark Side and Renovision and on my channel and a couple other channels. We have been playing the game. We've been rereading the books. We've been hanging out backstage in chats, talking about all of the Easter eggs, all the rabbit holes. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to us on Instagram. You'll find this. Search Comic Man Andy on Instagram. We're going to be going every Monday night, and we are absolutely – you want to talk about crazy, frantic banter about how excited we are? Well, this is going to be pumped. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be other podcasts that we're going to cover as well. There's an official Last of Us podcast that's happening every Sunday night, Pacific Standard at like 11 p.m. or midnight, like 4 a.m. Eastern. It's going to be going live after the show. We're going to talk about that show and what they talk about. I'm over the moon. I've talked about Last of Us for Brian. You remember when I asked you your advice a year or two ago about buying a copy that I thought was overpriced, but this might be the only shot. And I got to thank you again out to Seawater19 for putting me on to the Last of Us series while we were filming Modern Men with Comic Core 3 years ago on YouTube. And he put me onto the game and onto the storyline, and I fell in love ever since. And I knew wholeheartedly that as the rumors started floating around about the movie dying out and going into a show, that this was going to be a thing. And we are pumped. We are pumped to be doing a show every Monday night. And we've got spots open for guests. Anybody that's really as amped as I am about Last of Us that wants to watch the shows and hang out with us on Monday nights, we've got a guest spot every week that we're going to be doing as well. You guys know where to find me. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up anywhere. You guys know I don't sleep. I'll respond.
We got McClay.
I have a show tomorrow night on the radar. Come check it out over at Beyond Wednesdays. Then let's see here. Thursday night, I got the Bogcast. Friday night, I've got the Hot 10 over with Stein. Saturday night, I got Modern Comic Mayhem. And Saturday or Sunday, I'll have a sale, a big cosmic sale that I've been putting off because of other issues. But I'm finally going to have that sale either Saturday or Sunday. And yeah, that's about it. I got a show. I got a clip for the market report this week, dropping immediately following this show. So go check it out.
Definitely. Beyond Wednesdays, make sure you guys subscribe to that YouTube channel, as well as Comic Man Andy and Rhinoverse. Speaking of Rhinoverse,
so we have, we're a smorgasbord of things of content and material and information from the Rhinoverse. This one comes from your Metalverse, and I just was talking about this earlier, but a buddy of mine and his band is going to be playing a reunion show in Ohio in May. We just found out today, so I'm really stoked to hear that. The band Chimera, they're going to do a replay of their album that came out 20 years ago today. I think it was today or recently, right around this time. So they're going to do a two-day concert out there. Just look up Chimera if you listen to that type of music. And they're doing it's Impossibility of Reason, I believe is the name of the album. They're doing a 20-year reunion for that. So all the original members, and which is going to be really cool because those guys stay together, and it's always cool when bands kind of take a hiatus and get back together and they see how much fun it is, and everyone gets to kind of check it out, and you get to see bands that you never thought you get to see again. So I'm actually going to probably take a trip out there to go check it out. So
like Hanson.
What?
Handsome.
Darth Lopez in the chat. My one more thing, also getting really excited. Coming down to the final World Cup. We already know Argentina is going to be in it. Tomorrow we find out between Morocco, the dark horse, going up against France. I'm kind of with everyone else. As much as I kind of like Mbappe, I'd love to see Morocco, Argentina, and love to see Messi raise the cup before he calls it a international career, because I'm pretty sure he's starting to wind that down. Messi is the GOAT. Ronaldo, no. But with that being said, next week's guys, we are going to be doing our Christmas theme episode. Some of us may or may not dress up, not a requirement, but it's going to be a little unorthodox as far as we're going to be talking more Christmas type topics, favorite gifts, toys, pure nostalgia driven. So I hope you guys could join us with that. Bring your adult Kool-Aids. As we always say, if you want to come in the stream, let us know. We're glad to share the link out, even if it's just audio, to come in and have a conversation with all of us. We want to make it more of a Christmas type party atmosphere. 'Tis the reason for the season, or whatever holiday you guys might celebrate during that time period. But definitely appreciate you guys in the chat. Make sure you guys enjoy that time you spend with family. I'm taking some well-needed time off from work. So hopefully get to clean up this freaking comic book room, even list some books up there to sell that I need to get rid of, play some PlayStation, eat lots of good food, and spend time with my family. Hope you guys do the same. Until then, we will see you guys next week.
Look. They talking like they don't know a king when they see one. See him in person, he take it back like a refund. Ballin' with my brothers, all my playing D1. Daily checking chicken, he gon' spin it watching reruns. Say they real, but